Good morning, everyone. I'll dive right in. Just to give you just a brief introduction of who we are, Navigate Reconnect. A lot of times we are just associated overall with the Tennessee Reconnect grant. But I do want to just give you a background of just Navigate Reconnect, connecting you to educational success. So who's Navigate Reconnect? Navigate Reconnect, or for us, is NAVREC. We're a state initiative just focused on informing and supporting adults as they consider or pursue a post-secondary degree or credential. NAVREC provides adults with institution-neutral college and career navigation and wraparound support just to create that personalized path to and through college. Our services are free. We just want to make sure that we are connecting the dots for adult learners across the state of Tennessee. We are a part of the Tennessee's Drive to 55 Alliance. That's an active and rapidly growing alliance of private sector partners and community, as well as nonprofit leaders working together just to support the state's Drive to 55 initiative, which of course is to equip 55% of Tennesseans with a college degree or certification by 2025. It's important just to note here that in the beginning, the Drive to 55 initiative just kind of focused on, like your traditional students, your fresh out of high school students, your 18 to that 22, 23-year-old window. And the then Governor Haslam, they understood, hey, this initiative, we can't reach this goal without not taking adults into consideration. So that's where that Tennessee Reconnect came into play, just to kind of help the charge towards that 55% goal by 2025 being reached, just to help adults complete that post-secondary degree or credential at a community college or technical college tuition free. So again, the governor knew that to reach this goal that, we would have to take adults into consideration as well, because, there are adults across the state of Tennessee that may have some college but no credential. I think the percentage when we first started was roughly about 70% of adults had some college experience, whether it was a semester or two or some credits, but no college degree. We're also an affiliate of the Tennessee Reconnect Higher Education Commission, and we are the Adult Outreach Initiative part of that. Just working for your regions, we work collectively across the state just to push adult learners relentlessly towards a credential or degree. Each Navigate Reconnect region is comprised of a director and navigators, just who partner with your community leaders, your employers, higher education institutions, just to implement this state-led strategy to engage adults in the area. Of course, we're in the West region, Middle Tennessee, East Tennessee, and North Tennessee. And those broken up into 4 regions. East and Northeast are collectively now working as one big region. So one thing I do for us as navigators, I do consider myself a navigator. We just work to help reconnectors. That's that key word there, you all, reconnectors, just overcome challenges and just to solve problems in their post-secondary journey. Our navigators, they're available from pre-enrollment through graduation. Again, we serve as guides, advocates, referral agents, cheerleaders, supporters, liaisons, patrons, confidants, and helpers. One thing I can say about the navigators, we really work tirelessly just to be that support to reconnectors. We know that a lot of our adult learners are faced with different challenges that your traditional student may not be faced with. So we take the time to make sure that we're connecting them to the right referral agents within the community that may support them with different barriers or challenges that come along while pursuing a post-secondary credential. You know, it's one thing to be an adult, take care of, you know, family, you know, take care of children, take care of your household, um, on top of working full time or working part time or working several, you know, some people work full time, part time jobs, along with trying to obtain a post secondary credential. So we want to kind of just be that liaison, that guide, and that supporter throughout this journey, just kind of helping reconnectors along, you know, as they pursue this path. We understand that it's important to just kind of provide value to our reconnectors. And that's why it's important for us to just kind of work with our local led strategies to engage these adults, um, and just focusing on the specific needs of different communities, education institutions, and our industry partners or industry employers. Um, I think that's important because for reconnectors that we serve in Shelby County, the needs of the community may be completely different for the reconnectors that we serve in the Northwest County, or the needs are maybe different for the reconnectors that we serve in the Southwest County. So we work to just be community focused and just a network of information and tools just to complement the existing strategies and resources available in every part of Tennessee or in your part of Tennessee, specifically Shelby County, Fayette County, Northwest counties, and of course our Southwest counties. So I am throwing the word reconnector around a lot. I just think it's important to understand what we consider a reconnector. So reconnectors for us are, you know, adult learners. They're non-traditional students. That key word right there, non-traditional students. Um, and when we first started this work, they were considered comebackers. And that's just, of course, a simple coming back or returning back to school. You do have your returning adults. Some people also consider them adult returners and as well mature learners. But for us, reconnectors was just the overall best way to explain all of the. Okay. So just kind of understanding reconnector challenges. For us, we take it personal and we work to really understand and identify the different challenges and barriers that a lot of our reconnectors are faced with. Just kind of mentioning this earlier. We know some of our reconnectors, they deal with food insecurities, childcare, lack of transportation, that's a big one. Just emotional hardships, even with the state of, you know, the nation right now with unemployment, you know, work, gas, defaulted loans, previous institution balances is just life itself. These are just different challenges that many of our reconnectors face. And for us, we work one-on-one with these reconnectors just to connect them again. That's our key word, with the right resources, just to provide them the best support towards educational success. Or for us, sometimes that support is just simply a phone call. Sometimes reconnectors, they aren't as trusting with, you know, someone at the institution with information as they are with us. And we work to kind of get that understanding that barrier so they can continue on towards educational success. And again, that may be just that simple phone call. A lot of times we're not bound by one thing we like to say is we're not bound by the same laws that the institution they may be bound by, or some of your organizations may be bound by. And for us, we may be able to say some things in just layman's terms that you may not be able to say, just to kind of continue to push that adult towards success. So aiding reconnectors towards degree completion, there are some institutions, of course, across the state that have programs that offer financial aid assistance to reconnectors as they work towards degree attainment. One thing is the UT Promise. That's a little different from the grant itself that we focus on, but it just helps reconnectors or non-traditional students as well towards a bachelor's degree. There's also a program at the Finish Line program. I'm sorry, there's also a program, the Finish Line program, that's at the University of Memphis. Sometimes we work with reconnectors who have 120 or 130 credits. And the Finish Line program may be that program for that reconnector and not like a TCAT or a Tennessee Reconnect initiative towards an associate degree, because we want to push them towards what's best for them. And if you're one step closer to that bachelor's degree, we want to make sure that we're working forward and not backwards for that Reconnect. Another program, of course, as I mentioned, is the TCAT Reconnect grant, which is at our Tennessee Colleges of Applied Technology. Some students or reconnectors, they have bachelor's, they have master's degrees, and they may not be eligible for their UT Promise or that Finish Line program, but they've never received like a credential or something at a TCAT. And you may be interested in changing that program to maybe wanting to change to welding, or you're interested in becoming an LPN or something of that sort. Just because you have that bachelor's degree, that master's degree, that doctorate, that wouldn't make you ineligible for that TCAT Reconnect. So that may be something that some of our adults are interested in. There's also the One Step Closer initiative, which is an initiative for our Northwest students and mainly our Southwest region students. It's just a program and liaison with Dyersburg State Community College, as well as Jackson State Community College, that provides funding from that associate degree towards a bachelor's degree with the University of Memphis on site at Lambeth in Jackson, Tennessee. And of course, finally, the Tennessee Reconnect grant. So what is that Tennessee Reconnect grant? I just think it's important we just to kind of really focus on the Tennessee Reconnect grant, just understanding, the grant itself, because a lot of people, a lot of individuals aren't really familiar with how the Tennessee Reconnect grant works. So the Tennessee Reconnect grant is a last dollar scholarship or a last dollar grant that pays the remaining balance of tuition and mandatory fees after other state and federal financial aid have been applied. The grant itself is available for eligible adults who want to pursue an associate degree, a technical degree, or a technical diploma at a Tennessee community college or technical college. And that technical college is just the TCAT, Tennessee College of Applied Technology. The grant itself can also be used at an eligible public or private college or university towards that eligible associate degree. But keep in mind, it is not a last dollar grant at your public or private universities for that associate degree. Some of the eligibility requirements is just to qualify as an independent student on your FAFSA. A lot of times I do want to just kind of put a pin there. Qualifying as an independent student mainly is just being 24 years and of age or older. But there are some qualifying factors that would make one independent under the age of 24. And just to name two is just being married or having children. So students who are married under the age of 24 or may have children, they will qualify as an independent student under FAFSA. Another thing to be eligible for the Tennessee Reconnect grant itself, you must maintain continuous enrollment once you start. So that's your fall and spring semesters. Summers are optional. It's very important for a lot of our reconnectors to remember this information because little things do happen that can make one ineligible, like not maintaining that continuous enrollment part, going for the fall, going for the spring and deciding, hey, I need a break the next fall. And, that's a determining factor that would make one ineligible. So we'll try our best to work one-on-one with these reconnectors as they pursue this goal. Because again, this is the last dollar. This is just look at it as that last opportunity. Another thing, you must be enrolled at least as a part-time student. And just hopping down to the next point, that part-time student for us is just maintaining or being enrolled for a minimum of 6 credit hours. It's important for students to understand that because some students may be enrolled in a mat or in a class, and they may also be enrolled in a support class, and that support class only counts as 1 credit, and they would be enrolled for 4 credit hours and not 6. And that's a determining factor that could make one ineligible. One must complete the FAFSA annually. You must maintain a minimum GPA of 2.0. You must be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, and you must be a resident of Tennessee. And of course, you cannot be incarcerated, and you cannot currently have an associate degree or higher. So just putting a pin right there, that's for the Tennessee Reconnect grant. The Tennessee Reconnect grant again, and the TCAT grant, they are different grants. So just to make it easy, just to connect with us, the easiest way is just to go on www.tnreconnect.gov and click on Talk to a Navigator. And once you click on Talk to a Navigator, you'll click on Connect with the Navigator, and that will just start your intake and application process of getting started successfully with the Navigator in your region. And it's just important for us to work one-on-one with reconnectors. Some reconnectors, they never connect with us until it's too late, because it's easy to just go to the institution, understanding the grant, and just knowing that you're eligible for the grant. But we are working and trying our best for any reconnector across the state to just work with us one-on-one, because we want to make sure that the students do not lose eligibility for this grant, because our goal is to increase graduation rates and decrease retention. And a lot of times, students, like I just mentioned, they will reach out to us when it's too late. They've had a stop out, or they've dropped a class, and with them dropping the class, they haven't maintained the requirements of that grant. So then they may reach out to us then, and we haven't been working one-on-one with them. And these are the type of barriers that would categorize as a barrier that we want to prevent. And so again, just it's easy just to connect with us again, just through that www.tnreconnect.gov. Again, talk to a navigator, connect with the navigator, and we'll get started and work with you one-on-one.